My pain is for both of them as a couple, you know, and going forward, my hope is that they can make it work.
Video released by TMZ Sports has turned Ray Rice and Janae Palmer really into the face of domestic violence. Rice's team released him after seeing shocking video of the fight and Rice punching and knocking out Palmer. Also, the NFL suspended the Baltimore Ravens running back indefinitely. So joining me now is Jan Langbein, the CEO of Genesis Women's Shelter here in Dallas. Good morning, Jan.
Good morning.
You know, we were just talking about this in terms of your perspective as somebody who deals with this on a daily basis. As you saw everything play out from that initial arrest to the decision that was made yesterday, what's your take on how the NFL really handled this?
Well, you know, there are multiple ways of looking at this. I have to applaud not only our community, but communities all across the country who said, I have zero tolerance for violence against women. I have never in my career seen an outpouring of concern as we saw. You know, the NFL stepped up and thought a 2-game accountability was enough, and this country said absolutely not. Sports friends and sports fans and other folks said it is not acceptable. I have to tell you, I again applaud them walking back and saying this is serious and we have to address it.
Exactly. So let's talk also, as we look at this video, when you look at how he's treating her, really how they're treating one another in that initial phase there, kind of hitting back and forth. Is there anything in there that to you is indicative of they've been through this before, this is not the first time?
Well, I'm certainly not clairvoyant, but what we know is if someone hits somebody, and especially if it's in a public place, that usually it has happened before. But we do know also, because this violence is cyclical, if he hit her once, he would hit her again. So without accountability, without some kind of intervention there that we have now experienced, certainly nationally, there was a great odds that it would happen again.
And we know that their relationship continued after that. Janae and Ray got married, I mean, really about a month after this happened. And then they also hosted this news conference where Janae apologized for what she said was her role that night. The assault charges against her were dropped. Everybody here is asking, why would you marry him? And even more than that, why would you apologize for what happened?
Well, several things there come to mind. Certainly that's the #1 question I'm asked every day. Why didn't my mom just leave? Why didn't this woman, why did she marry him? And there's a million reasons for that. I don't know about Mrs. Rice, but there are financial implications. She has a child with him. Maybe that's the only man she's ever loved. How will I make it on my own? The apology, however, is very, very typical. One of the dynamics of the issue of domestic violence is women are told that it's their fault, and they believe that it's their fault. It is absolutely never acceptable. She did not lay a hand on him in this video. You know, there's nothing she could do to promote that, to instigate that fight.
Real quickly, you mentioned their 3-year-old daughter. Any quick bits of advice for somebody who is dealing with a family that is trying to get back together after something like this?
I want to say that people believe that, you know, kiddos need 2 parents. I absolutely agree with that, unless there's violence in that home. We know that children who are raised in a violent home receive on-the-job training to be tomorrow's victims and tomorrow's abusers. This whole family has been devastated by domestic violence, and it would not be the case if he had never hurt her.
It is heartbreaking, and again, that little girl involved. Jan, thank you.
No, thank you for having us, and thank you for talking about this. Our hope is that the viewers know that there is help and there is hope before it gets to this point.
Exactly. We have the info for the 24-hour hotline up right now, and I hope that it, you know, really resonates, a serious message with our viewers. If they're dealing with something like this, the phone number, I'm going to read it out to you. It's 214-946-HELP. If you don't catch it right now, you can go to our website, myfoxdfw.com, to get all the info. Jan, thanks again.
Thank you.